Rick Riordan is the author of many books for adults and children. His books have won many different awards. Before he decided to become a full-time writer, Riordan was an English and history teacher for 15 years. He now lives in San Antonio, Texas with his wife and 2 sons. On this map of the United States, here is where we are in Greer, and this is where he lives in San Antonio. It was his oldest son that inspired him to write The Lightning Thief, a wonderful book you'll be reading as a class this year. In the following video clip, Riordan will tell a bit more about how he began writing this novel.
It started about 5 years ago when my son was having a rough year in school. He didn't like reading and he didn't like writing, and it turns out that he's ADHD and he's dyslexic, so of course reading is a really hard task for him and he had trouble paying attention in school. But there was one thing that he liked in English class. He loved Greek mythology. He thought those old stories about the gods and the monsters were really, really cool. And so I started telling him some at home because I had taught that as a 6th grade teacher for years and years. And so I told him Hercules, and I told him about Jason and the Argonauts, and I told him all of those stories. But eventually I ran out, and he got mad at me. He said, "Dad, tell me another one tonight." And I said, "That's it. There's no more. I mean, there haven't been any new ones in like 2,000 years. And he said, "We'll make one up then." And I was like, "Okay, how do you make up a Greek myth?" But I started thinking about it, and I said, all right, okay, let's just pretend here. What would it be like if all those old Greek gods really were immortal? They couldn't die. Well, that would mean they're still around somewhere, even though no one believes in them anymore. What would they be doing today? What would it be like if they still fell in love with mortals and they had kids that were half god, half mortal, like Hercules was? What would it be like if you found out that your real mom or your real dad was a Greek god? Can you imagine how that would change you? I started thinking about it, and I came up with this kid, Percy Jackson. And he lives in New York, and he's 12 years old, and he finds out that his dad is not dead like he always thought. His dad is actually a Greek god. Percy's a demigod. He has to go on these adventures and battle monsters and find this lightning bolt that got stolen from Zeus. The first story I told my son, I called The Lightning Thief, and when I was done, he told me to write it down. And I said, nah, nobody wants to read that. And he said, no, Dad, you need to write it down. So I did. It got published, and every book just gets bigger and bigger, and more people are reading it, and more people are reading it. And here I am 4 books later with The Battle of the Labyrinth.